Blue and red lights flashed across the pine trees like fireworks gone wrong. Sirens screaming over the lake. I stood on my porch with my hands open as two cruisers rolled up. And there she was, Karen, waving her arms like she was about to direct traffic, yelling to the cops that I should be arrested for refusing to sell my own cabin. That's how far this madness had gone. Act 1. The conflict begins. My name's Alex Carter. I own a cedar cabin on Lakeview Shores. It's not fancy, but it's a promise. My dad left it to me with his last words by the lake. Fight hard for what's right, son, but do it with a gentle heart. This place is yours to protect. The HOA used to be small and friendly. We had potlucks in a boathouse. Neighbors brought cookies. Kids drew dolphins in chalk on the dock. Then 2 years ago, Karen Mitchell moved in bright scarves, loud voice, and the kind of smile that hides teeth. She had big visions: modernize the shoreline, build a 5-story clubhouse, wipe out the old cabins. And guess whose cabin was first on her demolition wish list? Mine. At first it was letters, community progress, mandatory modernization. Then it was late-night meetings without notice, new fines for visual clutter. Even chalk drawings disappeared overnight. When I refused to sell, Karen snapped. Everyone has a price, Alex. I told her. Not me. Not this place. Next thing I know, she's calling the cops. On me. The officers asked me calmly for my side. I said, "This is my home. I pay my dues. I break no rules. I just said no." But Karen, she kept spinning lies, waving fake documents, insisting I was a danger to the community. I watched Officer Reed study the new dock rails I fixed for neighbors, the solar lights I'd installed for evening walks. He knew she was twisting the story. Still, Karen leaned in close and hissed under her breath. "You'll regret this. You'll see who really runs this lake." That was the night I realized this wasn't just HOA drama. It was war. Act 2. Escalation and the turning point. I thought the police visit was the worst of it. I was wrong. Around midnight, headlights swept my yard. Karen's SUV pulled up again, this time with men in reflective vests carrying clipboards, spray paint, even a chainsaw case. She shouted from the grass. "Architectural committee, pre-dawn survey, compliance check." One guy stepped onto my porch and dragged an orange spray line across my boards. That hiss of paint. It felt like someone cutting straight through my chest. And then flashing lights again. The cops had doubled back. They caught Karen red-handed trespassing. For a moment I thought justice was done. But Karen just glared, declaring, "Tomorrow at the board meeting, we'll vote you into compliance." I barely slept that night. The meeting hall used to be a cozy boathouse. Now it was polished steel letters and fluorescent lights. Karen sat at the center seat like a judge, even though she wasn't president. First order of business: removal and sale of the Carter cabin. I stood. "Excuse me, you can't do that. Here's my deed, my taxes, my name on it." Karen smirked into the mic. "Don't be fooled. He's not the true owner. Rumors say he's just a tenant. Maybe even a squatter." The crowd gasped. My stomach dropped. 2 large men in black polos, private security, not cops, started walking toward me. For a split second I felt like giving up. Maybe Karen was right. Maybe fighting the whole HOA wasn't worth it. Maybe I was dragging everyone into my mess. But then the front doors burst open. A tall man in a gray suit stormed in, voice booming, "Touch him, and you'll regret it." It was Thomas Miller, my attorney. I'd hired him weeks earlier quietly, just in case. He slapped a briefcase on the table and spread out documents, my deed, tax records, lease agreements. Then he dropped the bomb. Alex isn't just the rightful owner of his cabin. He's also landlord of 3 other properties in this HOA, including yours, Karen. The hall exploded. Neighbors gasped. Karen's face drained pale. She screeched, Lies, all lies, but she couldn't hide. The proof was on the table. Still, she snarled at me. If the county won't stop you, I'll take it to the state. You can't hide behind paperwork forever. That night I sat alone, staring at the spray-painted threat on my wall. Sell or else. My hands shook. I whispered to myself, maybe she's right. Maybe I can't win. But then came a knock. Not her pounding fists, just a quiet tap. It was Kaka. Mark Simmons, a private assessor Karen had hired. He handed me a handwritten note. Observed vandalism not caused by owner. HOA president pressuring false inspection. And he said, she wanted me to lie, but I don't work for bullies. That was it, the proof I needed, the reason to stand tall again. Act 3, the showdown. Karen's final act came at the dock. She tried to ban families from using the lake unless they supported her. Voices clashed, kids cried, and then it happened. Maria's little boy Jacob slipped off the dock, plunging into the water. Without thinking, I dove in. Cold shock, arms thrashing, but I grabbed him, pulled him back up. Maria sobbed, neighbors cheered, and Karen sneered. See unsafe docks. This is why modernization is necessary. If Alex weren't clinging to that shack, this wouldn't have happened. The crowd turned on her. Shouts rose. That's not fair. He just saved a kid's life. Karen's grip on the community cracked, but she wasn't finished. At dawn, trucks rolled in, men with crowbars and chains. Karen stood front and center, scarf fluttering, shouting, "This is the day we reclaim our community. Tear it down." I stepped onto my porch with my dad's old baseball bat in hand. My voice carried over the engines. This cabin is mine. This land is mine. You don't get to steal it with lies and muscle. Karen laughed, spitting venom. No one here will stand with you. But then Mrs. Green, the elderly neighbor, planted her cane firm in the gravel. I will. Mark appeared from the tree line. So will I. Maria stepped forward with Jacob clutching her hand. One by one, neighbors crossed the line to stand with me. Karen's smirk faltered. You think friendship beats power, she barked. That's exactly what it does. I answered. Community means kindness, not control. The hired men lowered their tools uneasy. And then sirens again. This time not for me. Officer Davis stepped out with a folder. His voice was sharp, final. Karen Mitchell, you're under investigation for harassment, property damage, and abuse of HOA authority. Her face turned ghost white. She shrieked, "No, I run this community. You can't do this to me." But the deputies cuffed her, leading her toward the cruiser. She kicked, screamed, shouting over her shoulder. This isn't over. You'll regret this. The lake belongs to me. And then the door slammed shut. Her voice silenced under the siren. I just stood there, heart pounding, spray paint scars still across my porch, the echo of her fury fading into the trees. Closing line lesson. Power built on fear always collapses. Community built on kindness never does.